what we're hearing is the feeling from our workers is this is as busy as they've seen it. So as busy as, say, a presidential election. Now that probably isn't really as busy as a presidential election, but we have a third fewer polling places than we had during a presidential election. So if the turnout is also two-thirds, kind of doing all the math, the two-thirds of a presidential election, it's going to be about as busy. Each polling place would be just about as busy as a presidential, and that's the feedback we're getting. And so what we're hearing in the morning is that, a lot of people coming to vote early in the morning, and of course that's, you can have a highway of 10 lanes but one entrance ramp, so that's generally when you have lines first thing in the morning. I bet they will dissipate by, within an hour or so, and then it'll be kind of just more steady throughout the day. But this is probably kind of what we thought, but maybe just slightly busier. One of the other aspects here is that it takes a long time to vote in this election. With the constitutional amendment, some cities have questions. It's going to take about 4 minutes per voter on the average. That's going to add to the line. That's going to add to the time the machines are being used. So it hasn't really been any kind of issue other than just pure volume. It's kind of hard to say. I was looking at, when we look at advanced voting, you can see behind this is where we're having people processing advanced ballots by mail. And I think by the time we get to 7 o'clock tonight, all the advanced ballots will be about the same as we had in 2010, 67,000. So if that is tracking, I was expecting about a 50% turnout, which is what we had in 2010. Based on what we're hearing, maybe that's going to be a little higher, maybe 55%. It's kind of hard. It's a gauge. Each percent is 3,800 voters. So if we're really busy at the polls, that still may be a 1 or 2% bump up. So maybe 52%. That's probably where we'll be.
Important part of being a United States citizen and living in the state of Kansas.
Was there any certain issues that brought you out that interested you this year?
Just making sure that the representatives that I believe in are in office representing me. I think it's sad that people don't take advantage of this opportunity that not everyone in the world has, but I'm going to, and I'm going to encourage those that I know to do so, and that's all I can do.
I'm a teacher here in Kansas, and so I think there's a lot of issues that are going on right now with education funding and with retention of some judges, some important judges that are ruling on some cases that have to do with education funding, so I wanted to make sure I got my vote in. Yeah, governor and senator definitely were on my radar as well, but as a teacher, just education's my number one concern.
We're in a cave kind of here at the election office, so we don't really quite hear all the commercials and see them all that we hear about, but I certainly go home at night and see all the mail. And so I just think there are some hyper races for sure, and I think there's a lot of advertising for those races, and that's what drives turnout. I'm a big believer that you can always tell people it's important to vote, and it's their civic right and all that, but compelling races and compelling candidates is what brings out voters, so obviously that's what's happening today.